Om Shanno Mitra Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Shanno Vishnururukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति Shanti Shanti. Yesterday we have seen the oneness between the individual, Jiva, helpless, hopeless, and always at the mercy of universal laws, starting with the weather. That's why it's called weather, because we never know whether it's going to rain or not. Starting with the weather, one is at the mercy of so many forces beyond our control. Adhidaivika, forces centered on God, we say, earthquakes, tsunamis, so many things. Adhibhautika, forces which are in our surroundings. This also we are controlled by to a great extent if we are not self-aware. I come to the ashram, I'm sitting, I'm having a good time. And then what? I just look to see who is sitting next to me. Oh no! Where did this person come from? This person is not even ashram worthy. They, they, should, they should be miles away. I have seen what they do. And they have no shama, no dama, no titiksha, no shraddha, no samadhanam, In judging them, I revise the qualifications needed for this knowledge. So, forces, in a way, we are not in charge of what other people do. We are not in charge of that at all. So, these are the forces. In a way, it feels, unless one is self-aware and has some commitment to spiritual growth, the adhibhautika, the middle level, the forces from our surroundings also affect us, unless we have interrogated that. And then what? Finally, there seems to be everything is fine. There is no earthquake, there is no tsunami, and then what? And the people next to me, behind me, in front of me are all well behaved for a change. And then what's the problem? I don't feel good. Adhyatmika. And this also I don't seem to have any control. Why don't you feel any good? Because why don't you feel good? Well, I'm thinking of something somebody said to me 5 years ago. I'm not able to overcome that. There is pain, there is fear, there is sorrow, and that itself becomes a obstruction. And I feel that I'm controlled by my mind, by my emotions. And so this way there is a alienation, a distance between jiva, myself, the helpless, hopeless individual at the mercy of so many kinds of forces, which have been, for the sake of analysis, reduced to 3, which we just discussed. I feel at the mercy of forces beyond my control. And then what? As a result, I am helpless. I feel far away from Ishvara. I feel not one with Ishvara. never one with Ishvara. And sometimes, when you talk about Bhagavan, God, the eyes fly up. I don't know why. Whereas the vision is that everything is Ishvara, whatever there is, in front, behind, on the sides, up, down, everything is Ishvara. So, this distance has to be cognitively bridged. And we saw that how to do that yesterday. Also, we covered this by understanding the two orders of reality and by understanding the Mahavakya in the form of an equation. Both these things we saw. The latter one first, just by way of summation, understanding the Mahavakya, the special sentences in the Upanishad that reveal the oneness between myself and Ishvara. Ishvara, all glorious, no limitations. Jiva, myself, full of limitations. Every which way I look, I feel limited. Financially, of course, limited. Emotionally, limited, and limited in physically, limited mentally, limited in every which way. God, limitless, free, whole. And that is exactly what I want to be. I crave to be limitless. And I told you in the beginning itself, there cannot be a craving for what one cannot have and doesn't know. You cannot desire something you do not have. And you cannot desire something you do not know. So, this craving for oneness is somehow resonates with me because I sense the oneness. I have this desire because somewhere I sense it. Especially in sleep, we have seen this. Whether the sleep comes in the class or in the room. It's a powerful, uh, it's a powerful source of oneness. Except I'm not there to enjoy it. I only enjoy it in hindsight. But that desire for oneness is the sole desire, pun intended, desire of the soul, and the only desire, sole desire, that has to be pursued. And then when we look at the Mahavakya, we see that it is exactly like an equation. Einsteinian equation, E is equal to mc squared. On the surface, there is no similarity. Forget identity. There is no similarity. Two different things, energy and matter. And in my mind, that they are very different things, entities. But here there is an equation equating the two. And since it's not done by somebody who is not scholarly, somebody who is very erudite, of Einstein's caliber, we don't dismiss it. We look into it. We look into how to resolve this equation. What is it that is hiding in plain sight, which I cannot see? And the Vedantic Mahavakyas, these special sentences that unfold the oneness between myself and Ishvara, are also like an equation. They cannot be dismissed. And you cannot say, I believe. Yes, you must be right because it is in the Upanishad, so I believe. No, you cannot believe. We have to arrive at this. And this arrival we saw yesterday is done by looking at each side, retaining that which cannot be removed, which is intrinsic to the nature of both Jiva and Ishvara. And what is that that is intrinsic to Jiva and Ishvara both? Sat Chit Ananda is what I have in common with Ishvara. That is exactly what is identical. The rest of it we don't reckon, because in Vedanta teachings we do not count that which comes and goes. Body comes and goes, bye bye. Mind comes and goes. That's why many times when we discuss the mind, what do we say? Never mind. So mind comes and goes, body comes and goes, emotions, it feels like they don't go at all. But trust me, they also come and go. Emotions come and go, and then what else? Everything else. The fact that the myth that I am the doer comes and goes. In sleep, I don't feel like I'm the doer. And the feeling that I am the recipient of other people's omissions and commissions, therefore I'm subject to hurt, that also comes and goes. We don't take any of these things into account. And when the jiva, like new potatoes harvested, what do you do after harvesting the potatoes? Because we cut it out carefully, because we don't want to cut into the potatoes, so we make a big round and cut it, and then there's a lot of dirt attached to the potato. Along with the potato there is non-potato. Anatma, non-potato. And so if we look in India, when you see the potato harvest, before the potato festival, yes, there is such a thing, and then you beat it gently on the side of the field. Or sometimes they have a little tile, a stone block, upon which they beat the potato, the bunch of potatoes, with along with the greenery. They beat it. They hold it by the head and beat it. And then what happens? You keep turning it and beating it, and the non-potato sheds. Non-potato, 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 all the dirt and everything, and sometimes the fibers and the roots of other plants are enmeshed in it, and all that goes. Then finally you look, potato. Same thing we have done in the Mahavakya. You look at the jiva and gently beat the concept and free it of everything that does not belong. Body is not reckoned because it comes and goes, it's not the nature. Only that which stays, that which never comes, never goes, that which is never created, doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an end, that alone is the potato. Sorry, Atma. And that alone is retained. That alone is retained, the rest is not reckoned. In the case of the potato, we actually have to physically take it and beat it on the roadside. And in the case of the Atma, we have to do this cognitively. When we have potato, Atma, Satchidananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, which we have been looking at, then we go to the side of Ishvara side and do the same thing. Oh, but I have to beat up Ishvara. Don't worry, this is all cognitively happening. And then, so what are the clumps of there on the Ishvara's side that does not belong in this analysis? In this analysis, Ishvaratvam, or the status of being Ishvara, is put to the test and analyzed. King of the universe. When is one a king? When you have a kingdom, okay? Yeah. In India, there are many, many, many kings without a kingdom. These are all the old kings. And then the government, when we gained independence in 1947, the government took pity on them and let them retain their titles, and then let them retain parts of their palace. The other portions were converted into five-star hotels, which are where people can go and have a palatial experience, and go and write in their social media, I stayed at such and such a palace of a king in India. And so they retain a few inner wing of the palace they can stay, and then they are little local celebrities perhaps. They go and cut the ribbon once in a while. You know, ribbon cutting, we do that here also. Yeah, ribbon cutting, inauguration of something or the other. They call these kings and queens because, you know, they don't cost money. Other people, if you get a Bollywood celebrity, he will charge by the minute, he or she. But they are happy to come and, you know, give a little talk, cut a ribbon or two, and then this is what it is. They are what? Kings without kingdom. And then once my guru had gone to, you know, there was this very special library called Saraswati Mahal Library in Tanjavur. near the, it was destroyed with the Mughal, the invasion of India in the 1700s, and so many of the ancient manuscripts were destroyed by the invaders and the rulers, and then a lot of it was replaced thanks to them, the Vedas and the text being in the memory of the scholars. So it was written down, replaced, digitized, everything. So the library was given a new renovation and a new look, and therefore they had to have a puja and inauguration. And the king of Tanjavur was invited to inaugurate the library. My guru was also there. So many other swamis had come. It was a very colorful affair. And they were waiting for the king. They thought the king will come with a motorcade, at least one car, if not a motorcade of cars. No. The king finally came in a little tuk-tuk. Okay. Yeah. Everybody was waiting for a car. And he comes in a cycle, actually, a cycle rickshaw. And so king means what? There should be a kingdom. Otherwise, it is laughable. King without kingdom. So king means definitely, certainly there should be a kingdom. But here, the kingdom is not there. What is the kingdom here? Universe. The universe here on the Ishvara side of the equation is the dirt surrounding the potato. Why? Because it comes and goes. If there is no kingdom, can I call myself a king? Only in India, okay? Maybe some other places, England also, you can do that, and some other European countries, but that's about it. It's just titular, just a title. But technically speaking, if there is nothing to rule over, then how can I call myself a ruler? That rulership is called Ishvara, Hud Ishvara, Tvam Ishvara, Ness. Because Ishu, Palane, Ishu, the root verb means to rule. Vara, always. The one who is always the ruler, never the ruled. This is the meaning of the word Ishvara. And so here, God without rulership, so this godness or the status of being the ruler of the universe, that status is discounted because the universe itself comes and goes in cycles of manifestation and demanifestation. We have seen this, and these blocks of time are called yugas. 4 yugas are called there. And right now we are in Kali Yuga, sad Yuga. And we see it all around us, full of war, strife, difficulties, no dharma, all this. And the Kali Yuga then changes to Dwapara Yuga. So 4 yugas make a kalpa, one kalpa. And then 1000 kalpas is one day, in the life of Lord Brahmaji. 1000 yugas. And so like this, there is all these, breakup of time, very sophisticatedly done in the Hindu almanac. And then, but nonetheless, even though the universe lasts for a long time, it does resolve. It does go away. It comes and goes depending on the desires of the jiva. When the desires of the jiva go into the red zone collectively, then Ishvara goes, better give them a place to resolve their karma and experience a few things, and the universe manifests. And when the desires come, at least for that cycle of creation, get to a low point, then the universe is resolved. So both the universe is discounted in our analysis, universe non-potato, and then the status of being the ruler of the universe, rulership also non-potato, that also is taken away. And then the frills and the fringe benefits of being Ishvara, all power, all might. Shadaishwarya, we say 6 qualities are talked about. All power, all might, all knowledge, all resources, all vairagya, all dispassion, everything, all that is discounted. Everything. And all, the last one is samarthya, the ability to manifest and demanifest and sustain the universe. All these powers are discounted. Non-potato, non-potato, non-potato. Then after cognitively discounting all of that, what is left? You should know the answer by now. What is left? Satchidananda or Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Do you see the oneness there? Ah. Oneness is it's the same Satchidananda that cries after wearing tatters, after wearing a costume of rags, and then what? Feeling ragged, therefore, and then carrying a begging bowl. I want, I want, I want, give me, give me, give me, give me, I don't have, I don't have, I don't have. And it is known as Jiva. The same Satchidananda straightens itself up and then has a glorious presence, wears a wonderful cape, and rules over the universe. With just one thought, everything can be changed, the laws manifest themselves, and then everything is there. Just by the power of the thought itself, the sankalpa, the intention brings forth the universe, sustains the universe, takes back the universe, the same Satchidananda. So therefore, I is equal to Ishvara is not a stretch. It's not an abstraction. It is the reality. It is a fact. It is a fact needing to be discovered. Who needs to discover this? Does Ishvara need this knowledge? No, I need this knowledge because the distance between myself and Ishvara is not because of space or time, it is because of my own ignorance. What is this ignorance? Maya Shakti as it pertains to and as it affects the Jiva. Maya Shakti. Maya means all knowledge, but she is all knowledge for Ishvara. We see the shadow side. We are affected by Maya as individual self ignorance. And because of this ignorance, there is a distance and we suffer. This is called the Avarana Shakti of Maya. Avarana, covering power, the veiling power. Also the veiling power. She has the power to make everybody wail. Okay. The concealing power of Maya. Concealing what? My own truth from me. I am Ishvara and I don't know that. I am Satchidananda. I am one with everything. I don't know that. This is the veiling power. She has another power. Who is this she? She is Ishvara. Ishvari. Same thing. She's one with Ishvara. It's an as though power. As though power that Brahman enjoys. This also comes under Ishvaratvam. Therefore, it is discounted in our potato beating exercise. This also is considered what? Non-potato. Mithya. Now we know the term for non-potato. What is that? Mithya. And so therefore what? So therefore, we see that this Maya casts a spell where I do not know the truth of myself, coming under a fog of ignorance. But that can be corrected through this knowledge because the will is there, the desire to know is there, the Shastra to know, the remedy, the method to know is given, teachers given, studentship given, and I can desire this knowledge, the desire for this knowledge also given. So the avarana is corrected. Maya also has another power. It is called a projective power. The one is as though projected into many names, many forms, myriad of names and forms. This is called Vikshepa Shakti. Vikshepa Shakti. Kship, to throw. Vikshepa, special throwing. In other words, to put it nicely, projection. So this projective power and the concealing power, both of them, I as a helpless individual, I am belaboring this. I am coming under the spell of this concealing power and also of the power to project. Actually, the power to project is not a problem. The projective power is not a problem. So that the one has become many is not an issue. Why? Because I can understand that inherent oneness, and the manyness does not bother me. When I know that everything is one, when I know the clay, when I know the truth of the pot, the fact that there are many, many pots does not affect me, because I know it's all just earth or clay. It is the veiling power that has to be addressed. The veiling has to be removed by understanding this and committing to this knowledge. This is what we see. This brings us to the discussion of the third order of reality. Ayyo, there is a third order also, yes. It is an order we know very well, even though we don't love it very much. What is this third order? First, we should revise the first two orders. One is the absolute, the ultimate, in Sanskrit called as Paramarthika. Paramarthika means all that there is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Why do we complain? This is Paramarthika. All that is there is Satchidananda. There is nothing more to talk about. No activity, nothing. One is in one's own glory. This is Paramarthika. But then we live in a manifest universe of names, forms, and shapes, sizes, and so many things. And this is Ishvara's projection, and as projection of this Brahman Ishvara, and this is called the Vyavaharika. Vyavahara means transaction. Transactional reality where there is give, take, and all kinds of Vyavaharas, exercises going on. Relationships, connections, sambandhas, all these things are in this mid-level reality. And this mid-level reality I occupy. How do I occupy? Because I have no choice. I'm already born related. When I'm born, somebody is calling me their child. Somebody is calling me their grandchild. I'm already born related. I cannot have a choice not to relate. I cannot say, I'm not going to have any transaction. That is itself a transaction. An antisocial transaction. That is what it would be deemed. So there is a choiceless reality in front of me which I have to negotiate every single day, and it does not come with a set of instructions. No instruction manual at all. I have to apparently figure it out as I go along, stumbling along the way, not knowing what to say. More importantly, not knowing what not to say. That's an even bigger problem than what to say. This is how I stumble along. This is called the empirical reality. The empirical reality, according to the sages and the ancient rishis, everybody, jnanis, people of self-knowledge, according to the enlightened ones, the empirical reality is not the cause of sorrow. Are? How can it not be the cause of sorrow? Look at the world outside. Every single thing at every given moment is out to get me, and I can prove it to you. The weather is out to get me. See, drops as we speak. And then the people are out to get me. Everybody is, I cannot trust. There is danger lurking in every corner. This is how I feel. Why? And that Shastra, the teaching says, is because I am not living objectively in this interim empirical transactional reality. Then how am I living? I am living subjectively. In other words, I have brought some excess baggage along. Excess baggage I have, and then not I'm not living in Ishvara's projection, which is benign, which is not out to get me, which simply is. In fact, our definition of Ishvara is what is Ishvara. If you spell Ishvara in English, what are the first two letters? Is. See? Yeah. What is Ishvara. But I don't live in the world of what is. Where do I live? In the subjective reality. In my own parallel reality, I too have the projective power, albeit it is inhibited by my own limitations. But I too have a projective power. I'm going to show Ishvara that you're not the only one with Vikshepa Shakti. I have Vikshepa Shakti too. What do I project? A fog, brain fog. There is an expression these days. A fog that conceals my own truth from me. And this concealing comes at a very, very, very difficult cost. And what is that cost? That cost is that it distorts the world in which I live. Because that fog is self-ignorance. I don't keep quiet. I start to come to wrong conclusions about the Jagat, the world that surrounds me, starting with my own body, about other jivas. I come to wrong conclusions. And then finally, about Ishvara, also I have wrong conclusions. And these wrong conclusions are costly because they are the cause of dukkha, sorrow. So, who is the cause of sorrow? The subjective reality is the cause of my own sorrow. The subjective reality has its own ingredients. What is it made up of? It is made up of the same thing as the objective reality. The objective reality, which is the interim order which we talked about, Vyavaharika Satta, empirical reality, transactional everyday reality. It has two ingredients. What are they? Memory, Ishvara's memory of how it was in the previous cycle of creation, desire. Whose desires? The jiva's desires to experience something and not content with being one with Ishvara, they want to separate. This is the desire. At the level also, the cause of projection is exactly the same two ingredients. Memory, and then what else? Desire. Memories. It could even be past life. Samskaras, vasanas. Painful memories, pleasant memories, difficult memories, happy memories are involved in this web that I weave of my own personal reality, called in Sanskrit as pratibhasikam. Pratibhasikam. That which shines only for me, a personal reality. Memory plays a big role, and then the next thing that it does is what? What is the other thing, that ingredient that plays a big role? Desire. Whose desires? My own desires. Known in the Bhagavad Gita as raga, strong preferences, dvesha, strong prejudices. This comprises the third order of reality, the subjective reality in which one lives 90% of the time. This is the cause of sorrow. How? We'll see in the next satsang. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.